All right, y'all. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his son, who some call Yahushua, Yehoshua, Yeshua, but we mostly know as Jesus Christ. Now, I had a couple comments come in on the last video, on the vocab video, so I'm gonna show you how to destroy a vocab Malone. How do you destroy? How do you obliterate a vocab Malone? How does one, go on the offense? Because it seems like we're always defending ourselves. And it's a reason. It's a reason why you're always getting put in that trick bag to defend yourself. It's a reason why you don't have any questions to throw at vocab to make him answer. But before we do that, you got to understand this one element first. You got to understand this first. Brother said, man, well, whose side you on? Bro, I'm on the side of truth. I'm on the side of truth. I've been sounding the alarm for years now. If you watch that Joel video, the Sons of Thunder brother video, he said, man, he would always, he minister of questions, man, he would always do these videos saying, hey, man, if you say this, man, the Christians going to do this to you. Just low-hanging fruit, because they've seen me constantly putting these videos up, showing them where the holes are in our doctrine. And for us to look at these things, not to try to tell you, hey, man, but just examine these things. You don't have to keep saying it. You can't you keep using Jeremiah 14:2, Job 8:8. Like, if you don't see the holes there, you don't see that's, like, come on now. We're going into the Greek. We're using the blue letter. What are you doing? Anyway, I want to show y'all this first. I want to show you this one clip, man. Y'all just bear with me 6 minutes. We're going to show you this clip, and then I'm going to give you what I would do to destroy a vocab. He visited me a few times. After once or twice, before that next visit, I'm going to be on that joker, man. Pause. Now, this is a video I did over 3 years ago. All right, Acts 15:15, verse 17 rebuttal. Why am I going here? Why am I dealing with Captain Tazaryak in Acts 15? Acts 15:15, verse 17. Because if you get this wrong, if you can't get this right, you'll never be able to stand up against vocab. You'll never be able to obliterate vocab Malone if you can't get this right. Very vital passage. But if you can't get this right, you'll never be able. You'll always be weak when it comes to somebody on the level of a vocab, or Elder Mike, or BK apologist. Smart Christian. You'll always be on the defense, because you're gonna have to explain away things that are just clearly written in the text. But this is a debate that Captain Tazaryak is saying, and watch how he's gonna break down this Acts 15.
50 seconds. I appreciate it. And Acts the 15th chapter, right? Acts 15. I'm going to start at 15. It says, and to this agree the words of the prophets, as it is written, after this will I return and build up the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down. And I will build again the ruins thereof, and will set them up. That's for Israel. That the residue of men might seek after the Lord, and all the Gentiles. Woo! Woo! All the Gentiles. And then it says, upon whom my name is called. So who is his name called upon? Let's find out. Let's go to Isaiah.
He says all the Gentiles, upon all the residue of men. All right. All the residue, and then all the Gentiles, all the scragglers, all those scattered. We're going to get them in to rebuild the tabernacle. And we're going to get the Gentiles who are called by my name. Now, he has to define who the Gentiles are. He can't just accept that word Gentile means Gentile. He has to define who these Gentiles are, because we don't accept that the word Gentile means Gentile. We don't accept that the word stranger means stranger. Shalaki. Excuse me. But he has to define the word. All right, nothing wrong with that. So we in Acts 15:15. The problem with how he finna define it is that this is an actual quote. This is as it is written somewhere. But he's finna go somewhere else.
Isaiah 43. In Isaiah the 43rd chapter, it says, "But thus now saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob." I thought his name was only be called Israel. The Lord saying, "O Jacob," because you can use Israel or Jacob. It don't really matter. "And he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine." Amos 3:1. "You only have I known of all the generations." So when it says the Gentiles upon whom my name is called, his name is not upon the other nations. His name is only upon Israel.
His name is not upon the other nations. His name is only on Israel. He went to Isaiah 43 to establish who's that name called. All right, so the first major mistake that I really, once you do this, I can't even, you just should shut the video off. Now, the Acts 15:15, matter of fact, let me go there so I ain't just paraphrasing. The Acts 15:15, it says, it's very important. Anytime it says this and you go somewhere else, then you being deceptive. He said, Acts 15:15, "And to this agree the words of the prophets as it is written." If you don't go to where it is written, then I feel like you being deceptive. That's what I'm saying. If it's saying this agrees with the prophet as it is written, why don't you go and get your understanding of who the name is called by that specific verse where it's saying where it's written? Now he went to Isaiah, I think 43, to find a precept about Israel called. You are called thy are mine. But even if you want to play that role, you would rather want to go to a better precept as in Isaiah 48:12. These are precepts that I was taught. Isaiah 48:12, "Hearken unto me, O Jacob, Israel, my called. I am he, I am the first, I am the last." So you're going to use Israel as only can be called by my name, and you have Isaiah 48:10, but you can use Isaiah 43 also, I guess, to do that premise. But first and foremost, that just establishes that Israel was called. That doesn't establish that only you were called by my name. You know what I'm saying? You would have to find a precept that says only you, Israel, was called by my name. You are my called. Kind of still leaves a little room in there. But the real testament to this thing is going to where it is written. All right. And even when you're using the Amos, only you have I known. Other parts say only you I'm a judge. Like, are you going to carry that throughout the text? Well, he only judging Israel because he only knew Israel. But then you want to go out on the streets and pronounce judgment on the other nations. Y'all got to, come on, man. Just think. I'm just trying to get you to think. Going to where it is written. But that's why he stopped there. That's why we stopped there. He only knew Israel. The rest, and see, watch, go back to the Acts 15:15. To stay here. "After this I will return and will build again the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down. I will build again the ruins thereof. I will set it up, that the residue of men that seek after the Lord, and all the Gentiles." See, you got a residue of men, and then you have all the Gentiles, "upon whom my name is called, saith the Lord, who doeth all these things." Now, as it is written is in Amos 9:11. And Amos 9:11 is a doozy. And this is the direct quote. This is what he's quoting. Why would you go to Isaiah when he's quoting Amos? It's a doozy. We like,
if we gonna hold on to that doctrine of only Israel and Israel is the Gentiles he's talking to, man, you gonna have to attack Amos 9:11. We gonna have to tear that down if that's the case. All right, as it is written is in Amos 9:11. Let's read this thing real quick. In that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. That they, the reason I'm telling you is that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord. That they may possess the remnant of Edom and all of the heathen which are called by my name, saith Yahweh that doeth this. You gonna have to deal with that Amos 9:11. You don't bounce around and go nowhere else. You don't go to Isaiah 43:12. You don't go to Isaiah 48:12. That's what I really meant. I think he went to 43:11 or something like. I don't know, but you don't go there. You go to Amos 9:11.
And that's where you go to see what the Gentiles are. He quoted this verse. So why, when you go to this verse to show who these Gentiles are that are called by my name? Well, he knew not to go there because it's going to say Edom and heathen. You know, Israel will possess these people, but these people are Edom and heathen that are being talked about in Acts 15. And if that's who James is talking about in Acts 15, then Cornelius is a heathen, because James is saying how Peter or Simon or Simeon first visited the Gentiles. Well, when did Peter visit the Gentiles? It was when he had the vision and went to go see Cornelius. And now you have this great shift with these Gentiles. If you can't understand this and you can't get past this, and if you have to do what Captain Tazaryak just did, you will never be able to deal with no vocab. You'll never be able to deal with them. And your understanding of the text will always be screwed. You will always have a misunderstanding because you don't know who the characters are in the book. How can you understand the book and you don't know who the characters are? You'll have to completely be retaught. So that's one way. That's one of the first things. I will completely be retaught. I will completely go over all the doctrine, go over everything that these folks have been teaching me, understanding that the same our church fathers, our One West forefathers, thought that the world was ending. They prophesied the world was ending in the year 2000. This is where we got all our doctrine from. Come on, man. You need to go back. You need to go back and look at what them folks was teaching. You need to go back and examine it. That'll be the first thing. You're going to have to get this down, and you're going to have to go back and wherever there's holes in your doctrine, even Ephesians 2, you're going to have to clamp those things down. But if you can get the Acts 15 right, and you could be able to accept that and start working and navigating through the text, understanding that these folks is really talking to heathen, Edom, and all of the heathen. This is what's being conversed in this council at Jerusalem in Acts 15. And that Paul is getting a letter to take on the account of how to deal with the Edomites and all the heathen when he's going out preaching. And that's also written in the Galatians 2 and 8. It's very clear who Paul going to. But if you can't get that, you'll always have a misunderstanding. Secondly, what I'll do, and that's all I want to share with y'all. Secondly, what I would do is I would learn everything. I would learn Vocab's doctrine better than he knows. I think he's something like a Calvinist. I think he sways on certain points a little different than a Calvinist. But I would learn everything there is to know about that. I would learn his faith statement. I would read his faith statement. If he has one, I'll watch his sermons. I'll watch some of I wouldn't be trying to respond. I would watch some of the stuff that he teaches. I would read his books. But you really want stuff that he's teaching, not what he's teaching about us. You want things that he's teaching, just his core beliefs. And those are the things that you want to attack. But a lot of times we can't attack, or you can't go and attack because you don't know nothing about what he believes. You haven't studied him like he studied us. Struggle to wrote 2 books. He studied us, not just him. Even Brother Abu, they've studied us. Elder Mike, they've studied us. And we have lots of information. It's not hard to study us because we put all the information out there. We put all our information out there. Their channel is based on, a lot of times, their channels is based on refuting what we're saying. Refuting some of our lessons. But they're rarely given breakdowns like that. They're rarely, but you have to find them wherever they are. You have to find those breakdowns. You may have to go find out where his church is and sit down in this church. If he, whatever day, see if he's ever teaching a day. You might have to send some spies in there. Befriend him. Find out when he's teaching. And film those things. You have to know him. You have to know his doctrine. And that's the only way you can go on the offense. That's what I would do. I would scan his channel. Try to find whether we can, where offensively we can go at him doctrinally. And if you can't build an offense, wherever you see them holes at, you should be building an offense. But if you can't build an offense, then yeah, you need to stay away from them. But you should be able to build an offense if you 100% truthful, you know it and you got it right, and you rightly divided the word, and you see certain things. It should be something. It should be something you can come at that joker about that he's gonna stand on it. And I've seen people, put him in and ask certain questions that, yeah, he's humble. He done humbled down enough to say, I don't know. I had to look into that. I'm not that well studied in that particular thing, especially when it comes to eschatology. And none of us are. That's the thing about that. You could think you are, but none of us are well studied in eschatology, because a lot of it is visions of prophecies. Like I said, we can give certain building blocks about how we think these events are going to happen, but just like you say, where the 2 witnesses are going to be here before Christ's return. But what are the 2 witnesses? Is it going to be 2 physical people that's going to come down? Is it going to be Elijah and Moses? Do we have to see them first? Jokers didn't know that John the Baptist was Elijah. Elijah and Moses could be here. You know what I'm saying? Joker could be here. Joker could be teaching on the internet and we mocking him. Who knows? That's why you just need to be prepared. That's what I'm telling my brother, man. You just need to be prepared daily, man. You need to be prepared now for the return. You need to be always watching. How the scripture says, always watching and always ready for the return of the Messiah. But that's how you do it, y'all. You find out your holes. You go. You make sure that you plug all your holes in your doctrine. You build a strong defense. Like Elder Tahar was trying to do. He gave a lesson. Is it a strong defense? I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure we'll see. I'm sure it'll get tested. But he went back. He gave the lesson. He seen that, hey, well, we seen a little hole right here. We need to. The Ephesians 2 is giving us problems on the street. If you don't know the breakdown, call the police. If you do know the breakdown, well, you should know the breakdown because I just did the lesson on it, and you should have watched the lesson on it. If you didn't watch the lesson on it, then you shouldn't be in GMS. So you don't want to go out here and embarrass yourself. And Jokers is out here getting embarrassed and embarrassing him. And that's what this whole thing about. Call the police before you get embarrassed. And I've been saying that. I've been saying it. You can go through some of my videos. Go through some of those videos, those old videos I got 3-4 years ago. I got refuting one West Israelism, some of these verses. And if you don't you feel I got it wrong, tag me. Do a video. Tag me in the video. Or leave a comment. I don't know if I'm gonna see the comment. Especially on older videos like that. It may be hard for me. I have to search for those comments when they're older like that. But I got time. Sometimes I do search just for new comments, new replies that I haven't responded to. So that's what we have to do, man. You have to put the work in and not just tightening up your doctrine, but also evaluating his doctrine and finding holes in his understanding and attacking those holes. But it don't seem like we're critical thinkers enough to do that. We should be looking for vocab. If it's really smoke, why not? Why not? If he really your enemy, you really want him to stop, he antagonizing you, find out his belief system and go in there and attack him. Go in there and start looking for him. Go outside and find out where he at. Or meet up. Hey man, we gotta meet up. Let's go. He gonna think he got some footage on you. Bring the cameras out, meet up. I got a couple of questions. But you have to go on the offense. You have to stop being defensive. You have to learn this doctrine. And with that, I'm gonna say shalom. Pray this thing was edifying. Y'all go back, look at that Acts 15. Did Captain Tazar, y'all break that down right? If you can get that right, and if you see where the error is, then you'll know that you have to go back and reevaluate everything that you've been taught. That was one of the haymakers. I don't know if that was the first one, but that was one of the haymakers. That Acts 15 is really, it pulls away a building block. And you know, if you ever played that game Jenga, it's just one of them blocks that get pulled away and the whole tower fall. Shalom, y'all be blessed. We'll see y'all on the next one. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me.